Good morning. Welcome to another Brunch with Bree. I am so excited. I know you've probably seen I've been posting quite a bit about meditation. Last week, I discussed 6 different types of meditation styles that I incorporate into my daily life. I'm very excited about those. Today, we're going to cover how meditation is helpful, how it can promote healing, how it can help in your mind, in your mental state, in your physical state, and of course in your spiritual state. So it's so exciting. I am excited. I didn't know how helpful meditation could be when I first learned about possibly meditating back in my teenage years. And I learned a little bit about hypnosis and only mindfulness meditation. So it's like, okay, yeah, I guess it can help reduce anxiety. But I had no idea the powers of other things. I'd heard about, of course, the monks who practice meditation since babies and can create and do amazing things. But, I'm like, I wasn't raised in that culture. I wasn't born into that. There's no way. So today I'm so excited to share everything that meditation can do. And I'm probably going to miss some things, but this is just what I'm sure that meditation can help with. And meditation, if you were here last week, it's not just about sitting quietly with your eyes closed, trying to get rid of all your thoughts, which of course means you're thinking on trying to get rid of your thoughts. So there's tons of different practices, different ways to utilize it. And it's a powerful practice that encompasses the mind, the body, and the soul. In the next few weeks in March, all of March is Meditation March, where I'm going to come on and discuss these actual techniques every week, how to incorporate and practice a specific type of meditation. So stay tuned for Meditation March, where we're actually going to go into practicing these types of meditations. But today, it's just about the health benefits. Of course, for your mind, it's like hitting a reset button. It helps quiet the chatter, the thoughts, and brings you a sense of clarity and focus. It's sometimes just a much needed break. So when I'm kind of overwhelmed or just really tired, I can't nap. I'm not a napper. I've never been a napper. I've got some ideas on why behind I can't and won't nap, but instead I've learned if I can retreat to do meditation for an hour, it's giving my body a break. It's giving my mind kind of a break because I don't have to worry about what's going on next. I can just focus on the meditation. And so it's kind of like my cheat rest. I feel so much better after the meditation because I just stop and, focus on I love the transcendental meditation. So I focus on the darkness, the friendly darkness. And it's usually so beautiful and I feel so relaxed coming out of it and just reset. So you can reset in many ways with different types of meditation, but that is my reset. That is my nap. I feel better than if I was to try to nap. If I was to try to go lay down for a nap, I bet you the whole hour would be spent, oh my gosh, what do I have to do when I get up? What do I have to do? How much time left do I have? Can I get some sleep? Oh, like that anxiety just builds with me in the napping. So I use meditation as my nap. Speaking of the stress and anxiety reduction, it's great for that. It activates the body's relaxation response, like I just mentioned about for my mind. It reduces the levels of stress hormone, the cortisol. You calm your mind and you calm your body, and it can really help alleviate the symptoms of anxiety and promote that sense of calm and serenity. And this is very valuable when you get to be more practiced in meditation. So at first, it can be a little anxiety inducing because you realize that, oh my gosh, your mind is just going a million miles a minute and you don't think you could ever meditate and it's a lot of work. But once you practice training your mind in kind of sitting and staying and relaxing, or just focusing on one thing like the friendly darkness, the space, the blackness, whatever it is, it's a training process. So it takes some time. At first, it can be kind of overwhelming, but it gets easier and easier. It's just like a muscle. It's just like training your dog. You train your brain to sit, to stay. And it's not to be void of thought. It's just to really focus on that one thought or that one thing. And it becomes very serene and peaceful when you can stop the craziness of the world and just retreat into yourself. Yes, at first it can be overwhelming, but I promise you will get there. It didn't take me very long. I have not been an expert meditator my whole life, far from it. My mind is, it's been a myoclonus dystonia mind, and that's a mind on ADHD on steroids. That is extreme anxiety. I've been in the ER for panic attacks, super, super deep depression. I was on a bunch of medication for depression, usually made it worse. I've been in institutions due to my anxiety and depression. No one even touched the OCD. So I haven't been there, but I can now train my mind and retreat into peace and serenity. And it is the best getaway from life is when I can just sit and retreat into myself. And there's no time in that. So I can disappear for what seems like forever. It's awesome. So that is huge stress and anxiety reduction for myself in the transcendental meditation, but it also helps in the mindfulness meditation. So if you're having a stress response, a trauma response, an anxiety response, you can step back and do something mindful for 5 minutes to redirect that brain, redirect those trauma responses. So let's say someone asks you to do something and you get triggered. And, it's not because they meant to do it. It's just you've got this trauma response out of survival. And you recognize that you're starting to go into anxiety, into worry, into stress. Step away, wash your hands, go just pay attention, wash your hands. Although I want to caution you, make sure that doesn't turn into an OCD soothing behavior. So maybe instead of washing your hands, wash a piece of fruit. Go wash an orange or an apple and start to just experience that fully. And what that does is it derails that stress response and that anxiety response that starts to get going. And then after that, you can use other techniques to keep that stress response at bay and reroute your focus. But it's very beneficial. There's many types of meditation that works to reduce anxiety and stress. My favorite, of course, is transcendental. But if you're not there yet, if you're in response, do mindfulness real quick. It's so beneficial. The next is it really does improve focus and concentration. Once again, it is a mind training activity. It actually strengthens the prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain responsible for the executive function, attention, and self-control. And as a result, the more you practice this, the more you enhance this natural ability to concentrate, make decisions, and stay focused. Heck, maybe I wouldn't be so crazy about all the multitasking I did in corporate America had I known more how meditation could help improve focus and concentration. I thought I could focus better if I just did 10 different tasks at once. While I felt like I was getting a lot done, I really wonder how much more productive I would have been had I really been able to concentrate and focus on one activity at a time. I mean, I succeeded. I excelled in corporate America. I did my job well and quickly, but I wonder how much quicker and better I could have done it. I don't ruminate on it. I'm just curious. So kind of back to the stress and anxiety, it can help overall body emotion regulation by becoming more aware of your emotions and learning to respond to them in a more balanced and constructive way. So like that anxiety and stress response of stepping aside and washing a piece of fruit, or another mindful activity I like is jumping jacks. It gets your heart rate up. It gets your body focused elsewhere out of that stress and anger, trauma, anxiety response. So it really helps you become aware of your emotions and be able to down-regulate these triggers. And then by cultivating this mindfulness and compassion when you realize what's going on, you can really use meditation to navigate difficult emotions with greater ease and greater resilience. So when you're in these mindful situations and in these meditative, the more you meditate, the more you become more aware in your physical 3D world, whether that's through mindfulness or transcendental meditation or loving compassion, doesn't matter. You just become more aware, and you become more aware of yourself, and then you can regulate yourself. And then you are compassionate for yourself. You understand where your triggers are coming from and how to respond and how to move into healthy ways of dealing with them. So it is absolutely phenomenal for emotional regulation, and especially in trauma responses and stress and anxiety and depression. So that really covers a lot about the emotional and the mind. But let's talk about the effects meditation can have on the body. It extends way beyond the mind. Works. I think they're miracles, but miracles are just a word for things we do not yet understand. And I'm starting to really understand the depths of the power of meditation, which is why I'm doing a whole series on it. When you meditate, especially with transcendental meditation, sometimes walking meditations and nature meditations can do this as well. Loving compassion or metta meditations also do this. Sometimes visualizations, it really depends, but most types of meditations, your body enters into a deep state of relaxation. This is definitely going to be more common with transcendental meditation or even self-hypnosis. This is where your heart rate slows, your muscles relax, your breathing becomes deeper and more even. I've even noticed sometimes when I'm in these really deep transcendental meditations, I notice my breathing for a moment and wonder if I'm even breathing, because I'm just so relaxed and I don't feel my breath anymore. And I kind of gasp for air, and then I have to get back into the state. But your whole body just really relaxes, and that's why I prefer it over a nap too. It has proven benefits such as lowering blood pressure. It helps improve digestion, boost your immune system, reduces inflammation. I mean, these are scientific studies they have done on the power of meditation. There are several different organizations that do these types of studies. I am really fond of Inner Science Research Fund. They are doing so much research behind just what happens physically in the body when there's these advanced meditators or these meditators come together, and what the room is like, and they're physically measuring these changes. And it's so exciting. I am so glad to be a part of it. And they test your microbiome. They test your heart rate, of course, your EEGs, EKGs. Sure, there's a ton of other stuff, blood work. And it's just amazing about these actual physical changes that they're seeing in the body. And I'm going to share more about some of their research studies and stuff. It's part of some of the education I provide some people that really want to know what actually physically happens in the body. It's absolutely phenomenal. Then moving into what else is good for your body and your mind and your overall well-being: sleep. Meditation has been known to promote better sleep. So who here is an insomniac? Did you know I used to be a chronic insomniac? And I'm talking about not just an hour or two a night. I'm talking 0 minutes of sleep for days on end. Usually by day 4, I would start hallucinating, getting really jumpy, but I was still pretty functionable for 1 or 2 or 3 days. But it was a lonely life, and my body was in chaos. My cortisol was really high, and a lot of anxiety especially when you're alone in the middle of the night. You know, there's no one to talk to. There's, not much to do, and you just beg for sleep and it never comes. So if you're an insomniac, I've been there, and I will say I am so thankful to be able to sleep. I'm off all sleep medicine. I'm off all substances, and I sleep great now. And I never thought that was ever going to be something I was able to do. So not only does it, have all these physical effects that help you sleep, but sometimes I just need meditation to get to sleep. And we'll get more into that if anyone's interested. So for the transcendental meditations, I make sure to do them sitting up, because otherwise it's very easy to fall asleep. That's what your body wants. Your brain is usually in theta, and that's great for sleep. So if you sit up and you pay very close attention to your different things, you don't fall asleep. But when it comes to needing meditation to fall asleep, I listen to some different guided meditations, start sitting up, and then as soon as I'm done with either the breath work or a certain part of the meditation and it tells me to lay down, I lay down and lights are out like that. Very rarely has that not helped put me to sleep. I used to, before I learned about transcendental meditation, I did self-hypnosis. And I feel they're very closely related. I actually think Dr. Joe Dispenza does mass hypnosis to put people into a meditative state. So there are several different layers from different scientists that believe prayer is one level, hypnosis is a level, meditation is a level. And I think that a lot of big meditators use hypnosis to help people get into the meditative state. So before I tried some self-hypnosis to help me sleep, and that was pretty successful when I was younger as well. Nowhere near like this though. So of course the physical changes that happen in the body, and just seeing some of my clients who have been able to get off their depression medication, their anxiety medication, who are finally able to sleep for the first time, or the first time in 20 years. And then, of course, other medications and other illnesses. So I've got a gal who got off her COPD and asthma medication, another who's now off her high blood pressure medicine. Her blood pressure has been really high for 20 years, and it's come really down. Another person who has gotten off an addiction. And these are physical changes in the bodies that are happening, and it's just magnificent to see. And it's so powerful and beautiful. And it doesn't cost anything, you can, as long as you have somewhere to be, which is our human existence, you have somewhere to meditate. It's absolutely wonderful. So lastly, of course, meditation is great for the soul. You can connect to your God. You can connect to your higher self. You can connect to source, creator, creation, other people, plants, animals. I mean, there is no limit. It's limitless. I use it to connect to my God, the one I met in my near-death experience. And it's hard to miss a date with the divine. A lot of people use it to connect to their higher selves or their guides, or go view the Akashic records or past lifetimes. There's a lot of life regression hypnotist that puts you in a meditative state to visit other lifetimes, and just absolutely incredible powers of the soul. And being able to really complete your soul and connect with it and connect with God, it is a beautiful, beautiful thing. And of course, when your mind and your body and your soul are all connected, how can you fail? So that's why I'm so passionate about different types of meditation and incorporating it into our everyday life. We get really busy. I get it. There's structures and there's expectations, and you have to work to make money, and you have to do all these things to live the human experience. And we often forget to make time to make sure our mind and our body and our soul are all connected, and really making the most of this human experience. And once again, I didn't know about this. I kind of knew about it. My mom kind of told me. She was always a researcher, always the philosopher, never the practitioner. So I never saw it in action. And I didn't do enough research to witness it in anyone else. And would it have changed the trajectory of my life? Yeah. Am I glad, I learned later so that I can really help other people learn and understand the power and the importance of it? Absolutely. Looking back, everything happened as it should, when it should, and why it did. But the whole what if, you can get in a scenario that just circulates and circulates and circulates, and I really don't want to be in the what ifs. And I'm very grateful for where I am and the education I do have now, and that I can pass that on to you and be enthusiastic. Had I had a totally different life from a teenager, I guarantee you I would not be here. I would not be helping people. I'd probably just be excelling in corporate America. I would not be stepping into my soul's purpose. And I am beyond grateful for living the life I've been able to live and learning the things I've been able to learn and sharing those. And meditation is so powerful. It's not the only tool, but it is such a great tool to enhance the healing on the mind, body, and soul level. So I will see you next week with Brunch with Bree on Tuesday, 10 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. And we will dive into actually how to do some of these different techniques. And we will go through the transcendental meditation. We're going to go through mindfulness. We're going to go through visualizations, loving compassion meditations. We're going to go through all of these one by one so that we can really take the week to dive in. And I'm so excited to bring this into your life.